Cancelled.
Schweezy.
Today we're going to do a new thing. I wanted to try this out, see if it was fun. I wanted to see if something was fun, so I want to try this out. I found a random topic generator on the internet, trademark, and so I was like, I wonder if I can just like generate 10 one-word topics and then talk about it and see if I can be entertaining. So that was my challenge for this. I wanted to try it out and see what was how this works. So I have 10 topics here, and I have not seen them. So I'm here right now looking at them for the first time, and I'm just gonna go over them, see what's good, see what's funny, and see what's not funny. See if there's gonna be a funny TikTok in this. We'll see. So let's start into it. Let's look at here. Random topic generator. I got 10 of them. First one, agriculture. Agriculture is pretty important, I would say, in the world. I mean, like, it's food. It's making food, right? Am I right when I say that's agriculture and plants and like making plants to eat and consume or whatever? I hope I'm right. I think that's right. But yeah, no, it's important. And yeah, I remember when there was apparently remember they had to do like a whole thank a farmer campaign, be like, God doesn't actually make this food. People make this food. And so thank the farmers. That's what I do. Usually I do counter prayers where if I know people are going to pray over the food I'm making or anything similar to that, I will do a counter prayer. And what the counter prayer will do is, instead of having it all directed to God, thanking God, what happens is when you do that, it helps a farmer and all the people involved with getting that food, packaged and to you and in stores, those are the people. So I do that. And if some of you are probably thinking, counter prayers aren't a real thing, but also real prayers aren't a real thing, you're speaking to probably nothing, That's how prayer works. Words like close your eyes, say words to your sky daddy. I'm like, okay, this is really fucking weird. And I remember, and it's funny, now I realize as an adult, I remember being in a lot of church camp type of situations, and there would always be that one fucking guy who would take 10 to 20 minutes to pray out loud with everyone. We're all holding hands in a circle. And it's just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Get on with it. It's just like, what are you trying to prove? You're just trying to prove you're more godly than all of us? I'm like, sure, go for it, buddy. But agriculture, no. I think food is important, and we all eat, so it's it's not going to be a business that is going to go away. Worst case scenario, they figure out how to make robots to do all that shit. That's and then if we have robots picking cotton, are we just going to make racism 2.0? Or is if you're a robot, I hate you, please die. Sending you hate all the way from where I am in the world. Yeah, that's agriculture for you. If you don't, that's pretty much a life lesson on agriculture. We all eat food. So we all need people in the agriculture business. So keep doing what you're doing. I support you because I eat and stuff like that. Not all of you, though. Some of you are assholes that are unrelated to your job. So you guys are out. So you guys don't get counted. If you're an asshole and you work in agriculture, you're not in this. People who are nice in agriculture, this is for you. Keep up the good work. I haven't died yet. And so therefore no one has poisoned me. And I feel like you're a good step to take there, ag people. Number 2, wood. The biggest thing we're not going to talk about dicks. I'm not going to fucking talk about wieners, folks. It's not that kind of show. Well, I'll talk to you about wieners some other time. Talk about someone's big old fat dick. Wood. I know in guitar world, I want to talk about that. I know there's been a lot of big debates going on recently. Now that we all are on the internet, it is different because there's one kid in the high school, I know his dad, and his dad plays guitar. And before, you could buy all music gear online, back before, places on the internet really had a good online store. This is probably, Amazon when they still sold books. Only books, we don't, now that more knowledge is all the cool gear we all know about. And like I was talking to my kid about them, like your dad always had the coolest gear, like before the internet. And I remember he bought a guitar off eBay. I'm like, you can buy a guitar off eBay, It's just like, I don't know why that was like blew my mind. Now I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, of course you can buy a guitar on eBay. Everyone just has an online store for their business and, sell shit out of it or sell used items, I was told. That's the information I was told. But yeah, in guitar world, there's been a big debate on tone woods. Like certain woods will give you a better guitar tone. And the debate, in my opinion on the debate is like, yes, good tone wood does make a difference. We're talking about electric guitars. Acoustic guitars, yeah, they need good tone wood because the whole sound of an acoustic guitar is wood vibrating inside a cavity and projecting sound. So like, yeah, it makes sense for that. But electric guitars are different. According to science, yes, it does make a difference. However, since it's electric guitars and they're all like solid bodies and you're mainly hearing a pickup more than like the wood of the guitar itself. So for the most part, it doesn't matter. However, I have thought of a new thing in regards to guitar tone wood, and that is the fact that I feel like guitars that are old, electric guitars that are older, like say, here's a Les Paul from 1970 something, or this is a Fender Stratocaster from 1962, like stuff like that, and it's been well maintained and stuff. I do think those make a guitar sound different just because I think the wood has aged enough that it starts to sound good. And that's one nice thing about acoustic guitars is as long as you maintain and take care of it, like it sounds good. Like I have an old like Alvarez and I think it's like a beginner guitar and it always sounded okay, but I figured out finally replaced the tuners on it and it actually is really good. But like it's a pretty cheap guitar. Like it didn't have a pickup when you bought it. And now I think it sounds really good because I think it's been around for like at least over 2 decades. So that's something that's really cool to think about. But yeah, for the most part, I would say don't buy a guitar, like don't spend the extra money on a guitar because it has a special tone wood, electric guitar that has a special tone wood that you think is going to make you sound better. And like you're not going to really notice a difference, There's like debates right now about pickups, and I know if you watch Spectre Sound Media or Spectre Sound Studios, Glenn Fricker on YouTube, he produces a lot of metal, and like he's been on a campaign where it's like there's good pickups and bad pickups, and it doesn't take a lot to have a good pickup, and you should worry more about your amp and like the settings you put into it. And I agree with that. And he does a lot of more high gain stuff. I am not fully all high gain stuff, so I think a little bit differently about pickups, but overall I think it's a good debate and stuff like that. So for everyone who is not a guitar player and not a musician, that just bored the living shit out of you. So yeah. Number 3, farmers markets. I feel like the ones near me are way too early, way too fucking early in the morning, dude. I'm like, it's Saturday. I'm not gonna wake up at 6 a.m. to buy honey or some shit. For the most part. So, and that's no one at the farmers markets, well, not anyone who's like a vendor at a farmers market. Like it's not their fault for that. They're just, they're just doing what's best for their business. And, I agree with them. I thought, didn't Nashville had one that was open like all day on like Saturdays and shit like that? I remember always driving by and never going in the building. It was like, it looked super cool. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, buying local is always really good. Especially, yeah, I always support buying local when you can buy local. Like I would prefer to buy a guitar. I mean, unless it's like used from a guy, like I'd prefer to buy it in a store versus like ordering it online. Now I did buy an acoustic online, but it was from a music store, so I felt okay. But yeah, for the most part, yeah. But yeah, I always suggest buying local. Especially, and that stuff's gonna be a lot better than like the shit you buy at Walmart and stuff like that. I don't really like tomatoes, and so my mom tells me that like, yeah, the ones they sell at Walmart suck, but like if like you buy them fresh from some guy off the side of the road, they're good. I'll take her word for it. But also, isn't like corporations trying to get in on the farmers markets shit and like ruining it for everyone? Like I said, I don't go to farmers markets because they're way too early in the morning, but yeah, I thought I heard something about that. Something like how farmers markets are being, I don't know, some article about how the death of farmers markets or some shit, I think my generation probably likes farmers market. And I know a lot of people who do that. Too bad you can't sell. Well, you can sell weed at farmers markets, but like legally sell weed, like that'd be a good place to get it and stuff like that. But no, I'm always down for farmers market. I think the new coffee shop in town started off like selling at the farmers markets, and then eventually now have a place. So that's rad. Always support your local businesses, folks. When you can. Obviously, like some people live in smaller areas and like, yeah, I can't really. I have to buy this online because, there's no one around me that sells it. So, stuff like that. Stuff similar to that. That's my farmers markets. Number 4, football. Like I said, I didn't see these before, or else I would not have put this one in. Football is boring as hell. And, I don't care if you like it. I'm speaking for me. I think it's super boring. It's like most of like the good stuff that happens in football, you can wait till the next day and just watch that. I just want to know the score and at the end of it, I'm like, you just want to know the score. I don't want to watch, dude. It's so fucking slow. I did, however, have an idea, and this idea will make football 10 times better and more entertaining. And I feel like we could all agree this would be a lot of fun. We put a kangaroo, a very strong kangaroo. They just let it out onto the field, and they just let it out on the field and let it do its thing. And so then you have to play the football game regularly with a kangaroo that is up for fighting. And for the football players, they can't actually kill the kangaroo. That's going to be a rule. That'd be horrible. A bunch of fucking grown dudes at peak physical strength murdering an animal. That would be horrible. But they can be on the defensive with the kangaroo, but they can't be offensive with the kangaroo. So, like, they can protect themselves from the kangaroo, but they can't. They're wearing like shoulder pads and helmets. They're going to be fine. I don't think the kangaroo. I'm going to doubt if a human can't do that. I feel like a kangaroo can't either. But like add in the kangaroo. Both put some excitement to the game, and the kangaroo also doesn't have to follow any rules. We're not going to be like, you have to line up with the rest of the boys there. Add in the kangaroo on the field, it's just like running around. Like, is the quarterback going to get sacked? I don't know. Where's the kangaroo at this moment? Maybe the kangaroo is feeling chill today. Maybe it's really aggressive, like interesting factors like that. Like, and I assume kangaroos are faster than humans, so like, if for some reason the kangaroo is chasing after you and you have the ball, like you're gonna have to run extra fast to get the ball down to the end zone, And like sometimes the kangaroo could be on your side and help the offensive line, or all this stuff. The neutral kangaroo in football is the best thing the sport can do since studying the effects of CTE. I think that's gonna be the next. Honestly, I think the kangaroo is more important than CTE. I'm like, they signed up. At the end of the day, they signed up for football. The day. It's one thing, like, I'm using nicotine to lose weight. And, I know the pros and cons of what I'm doing. I understand that. And even understanding the cons and the possible side effects and everything like that, you can still do it. Still do it. So, it's like also steroids. Like, let's let everyone gets to use steroids. Like, no one has to not. No one, if everyone gets to, I don't care, Like, you think, like, people who are doing Marvel and DC movies are naturally that jacked? I'm like, they got to put some juice. They got to juice up a little bit. Like, they have to exercise and diet correctly, but they're also juicing. Like, these are actors. Think about your high school and think of all the kids in your theater class in high school and think, does that guy have the body of a professional athlete? Like, no. Like, that's why they're juicing. Like, dude, it's because we all want to look at big, strong men. That's what we want to look at. That's why we all watch superhero movies. Big, strong men. Number 5, the circus. I'm always curious. Like, my mom wanted to take my little cousins to like the circus, and I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm like, one, they might be abusing the animals. I know, like, a lot of them used to. They used to just fucking be horrible to the animals and shit like that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's cool. Also, they have clowns there. I'm not really interested in hanging out with anyone who's a clown. You know, like there's some people who are like professional clowns and are like will say shit like to you about that. I'm like, buddy, you're a clown. You're creepy. You know? We've established that clowns are creepy. And it's like, I'm not even scared of clowns, but at the same time, if I saw someone coming up to me in a clown suit, we're going to have a problem. Like, we're going to have a problem. A problem is going to occur when you're dressed up like a clown and you decide that, hey, I'm going to enter this guy's existence. I'm like, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay the fuck out. You know, stay the fuck away. But no, like, if someone's like, you want to go to the circus? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. I'm like, well, like, not with like little kids or whatever, like a grown adult, like a grown woman's like, I want to go to the circus. I'm like, I'm down. You know, like worst case scenario, I have something to talk about on this podcast. So that's the way it is.
Here's something to think about.
Number 6, criminals. All right. What really is a criminal, you may be asking? Is a criminal by a lot of definitions, you would probably think like someone who has broken the law or committed a crime. Therefore, you are a criminal. But, we all commit crimes, we've all sped in the, like, I guarantee there is no one out there who hasn't driven over the speed limit. I'm not saying you do it a lot or did it a lot or even like that long, but everyone who's driven a car is sped, and that's a crime. So are people who speed criminals? Not necessarily. It is weird when you have to start thinking about it. Like, I live in the United States, so a lot of our laws, a lot of them, not all of them, are kind of designed with, like, what morality is and stuff like that, and making sure it's illegal to, like, to do a lot of things like that. Like, there's a law, you're not allowed to kill people, Why are you not allowed to kill people? Because, one, it's physical danger, putting people in physical danger. You're taking the life of someone else, and that's not cool. And, but also, someone who's a war veteran has probably killed a lot of people, but they're not criminals. Even if they're, at war in a country where even killing someone's illegal, Are they criminals? No, we call them heroes. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people or anything, It's a good question to gauge, like, what we think of as criminals. On paper, it's like someone who's committed a crime, and then like crimes, you have to think about like, the U.S. now has dumbass abortion laws, and they like to strip rights away from women, and I don't think that's right. I don't think if a woman, like, sometimes a woman needs to get the abortion, Sometimes it's just that. And you know what? You just got to do it quick, before it starts looking too human, and that gets weird, It's like we don't celebrate conception days. We celebrate birthdays. We celebrate when someone gives birth. And so unless we're going to do that, and it's a weird thing. And like I think I read in like one state, maybe Florida, that like frozen embryos or something similar to that, like, is considered a person. So like technically you could freeze a bunch of embryos, claim them as dependents, and then get, some tax money coming back to you because you're like, oh, I have these dependents because they're my children, yet they're like frozen in a freezer somewhere, like weird things. Like somehow that's not illegal. That doesn't make you a criminal. Fun things to think about. Like you have to think about what is actually a crime, what should be a crime and what shouldn't be a crime. And like, then you think about like, who do these rules actually occur to? Like, I just watched Echo and like, you think Kingpin killing every interpreter he hires because they may know secrets is a good thing? Like obviously that's wrong and illegal, and you could consider that a crime, but at the same time, police aren't going to come and arrest Kingpin, It's how it is. So think about criminals. Number 7, Disney movies. I always hate, like, because I do enjoy Disney content, and that you gotta navigate conversations very easily because I don't want them thinking I'm a Disney adult. Would I mind having a summer pass or whatever to like Disney World and or Disneyland, assuming I lived in those areas, Like, yeah, I would love it, And then if you have kids, it's more fun too. But people like just go to Disney World, have a good time, and shut the fuck up. It is how it is. I mean, I guess if you go into like a Disney adult like thread, like, or a Facebook group or like a Reddit subreddit or whatever, like, yeah, you're gonna meet the Disney adults. Like, these are fanatics of this thing, obviously. But like, then there's a point you gotta like I really like music, and I don't expect everyone to really like music. So I had to learn to like that, and I had to work. So, but yeah, I feel like Disney movies. Like, I feel like Disney is more for like the properties they bought, like Star Wars and Marvel, Fox. I feel like them because actual Disney content has been a little slippery. I guess Moana is going to bring them back. They don't make like 2D animation anymore, which is kind of upsetting. Everything's always like 3D animated. Like only thing that you really find that's like animated like that way is like actual anime. I think there's some stuff coming back, but like it's not taken as seriously as like 3D animation, which is, I don't know. Just maybe that's just old man just complaining about the world changing. It's probably that's probably what I am. Can't be complaining too much. So number 8, we have camels. I don't have many opinions on camels. They do their job. It's cool. They're cool for the desert. You can ride them around. They don't need water or much. Great for the desert. You don't have to share your fucking water with like a horse or some shit. And I feel like camels probably know how to navigate sand better. But also, let's talk about camel toes because I feel like that's more important than actual camels. I have more opinions on camel toes than actual camels. Does anyone actually care about camel toes? Like, I guess, it's like the pants or whatever. Like pants get that way. Guys get wedgies. Things with pants happen. But like, does anyone like upset when you see one? Like, I know some people just put it right in your face, which I'm just like, you need to tone that. You need to tone your camel toe back a little bit, dude. But for the most part, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if I see your vagina through your pant, like the crease in your vagina through your pants. Like, I don't give a shit. Like. It's like seeing a chick's boobs. I'm like, I don't care if your boobs are out. I'm more the merrier. Everyone take your boobs out. Was it a Free the Nipple campaign? I'm a big supporter. I would love to see every woman's nipples. And I don't know why there's men against it. I'm like, shut up. He's like, I don't want to see a woman's breast. I'm like, you don't? You really don't? You're telling me you don't want to see a woman's breasts? You're like, even the gross ones, you're telling me you don't even want to see those? You're telling me you don't want to see those. A titty is a titty. Someone's offering to show it to you. The answer is always yes. The answer is always yes to seeing titties. So why not do that? Can I see your camel toe? Can I look at it? I'm like, shit like that. Number 9, books. I feel like my life in education has like made me not want to read many books that much. Like I try to read, I don't do it a lot though. I'm like if I'm gonna read a book, it's usually coming through an audiobook for the most part, which I guess still counts as a book because someone wrote it down. Now you're just saying it out loud. But I don't know. I think just like when I was in elementary school, they were like, you better be fucking reading. Reading is the best goddamn thing you like. And if you don't like it, guess what? You're a fucking loser. And you deserve to die. That was my education in reading. Like, if you want kids to enjoy reading, don't force it down their throats. Like, let them read stuff. Like, if you want to get into reading, you gotta, find books in like a category that you enjoy, It's like, because like, books vary from like fictional stories to textbooks to religious-based fiction and everything in between. So, like, maybe you like fiction. Maybe you want to read someone's autobiography. You got to figure that out. You can't just be like, you got to read this, and if you don't have it all memorized for a test later, you're just like, I don't want to do this. And then people don't do it. That's why people don't read. So if you're complaining about, this is to the teachers out there that I work with, and just like, if you're upset that your kids don't like reading, maybe don't shove it down their throats so much, Just a thought, because that's when no one's going to like it. So, and if you want kids to read, you got to let them read stuff that they want to read, not just whatever you're forcing them to read. Speaking about a certain professor that I actually do now, or a certain teacher at the high school I currently work with who made me read The Scarlet Letter, I'm like, you know what? I was like, I actually like the teacher a lot, but like I have a fake beef with him because he made me read The Scarlet Letter. I'm like, I'm still upset about that. Just that's a good thing to carry over. If you're gonna hold grudges, make it like important, like having to read this. Whoever made you read The Scarlet Letter. God, I hate that. I hate that book so. I mean, it's a good story, but like reading it, the actual reading process of the book is awful, dude. All right, last one. Finally, at number 10, giraffes. What's their fucking deal, dude? Like long ass neck. Apparently, like. Have you ever tried to watch a giraffe drink water? It does not look fun. According to people who study giraffes, they get a lot more of their like water and like or H2O, I don't know, whatever you use, from like leaves on trees and stuff like that. I think that's right. Well, it's a podcast. I have to be right. That's how podcasts work. If I say it, it's right. But yeah, they need to figure that out. Like, like. I don't think, you think being tall is a cool thing, but also I feel like it's also a burden at the same time, being short is also a burden. Like you have to be like 6 foot to like 6'5" as a man for good. After that, you're like, you need to calm down, dude. Like you need to figure your shit out. Like there's no way you can be 6'7". Like calm down, dude. 6'5" is already pretty big, Like I'm being very generous. Like the fact that women need a guy who's 6'5", I'm like, what, you want fucking Shrek? I mean, yeah, we all do, but you want Andre the Giant, Rest in peace. Even though he was reincarnated into Ariana Grande. He died the same year I was born, too, I think I was reincarnated from Gigi Allen, unfortunately. If you don't know who Gigi Allen... If you're underage and don't know who Gigi Allen is, don't look him up. If you are older than that, feel free to look into him. Punk guy. I have to kind of like him. He's a punk guy. The only reason you would make me not like a punk guy is if they're Nazi punks or if they're sex offenders too, which is a lot of them, by the way. Really, really narrowing down pop punk and punk music. They really know how to do that. Yeah, no, giraffes. You guys need to figure... the giraffe community out there listening to this show, I'd like to ask you guys to figure your shit out. Like, you guys need to figure out how to drink water like every other animal on the planet. Like, maybe figure out how cups work, maybe? Maybe straws? Giraffe straws may be a cool thing. And also, you can't... I don't think you can ride giraffes either, so I don't know if you're... I'll say, like, if you're a hoofed animal and humans can't ride you, what's the point? I mean, really. But I don't know. I kind of like giraffes. They're cool animals. I don't know. Kind of cool. So, I was talking shit, but I kind of like them. Giraffes have cool personalities, They just have some physical things they need to figure out. But yeah, that's a random topic generator.
I was told
that I could be funny doing this, or interesting doing this. So, we live and we die. Thank you for watching this clip.